Okay, we are back working on Whispering Vale. So in our last video, we got our static meshes rendering. We checked all four walls, all ceiling, floor. All of that is now rendering correctly in the right position, the way that we expect. So our next step, where we're going to start here in this video, is getting a level editor built that will allow us to start kind of laying out a map and all of that. So let's jump over to Gemini, pick up where we left off, and let's see what it has suggestion-wise for what we want to do for that editor. Okay, we now have the map rendering correctly. I now want to move toward getting the level editor up and working. We have the shoot, what's it called? It is a data asset. Oops, too much. Okay. We have the map data asset class that holds all the information for a map, which is then given to a map manager for display. I want to start working on a UI and whatever classes we need to build a way to build, yeah, that's fine, a way to make apps for use in the game. Where do we start? See what it comes up with, what kind of approach we're looking at. All right, transitioning to an in-game map editor is an excellent next step. This will give you a powerful way to visually construct your levels using the map data asset system we've been working with. Map data asset will be the heart of the editor, and the map manager will serve as our live preview. We'll need a dedicated user interface and some new C++ classes to manage the editor's state and interactions. Before we lay out the specific classes and UI elements, can you clarify your vision for this in-game level editor? Editor Utility Widget. Is this a tool that would run within the main Unreal Editor window? No. Runtime in-game editor. This is a special mode or map that you would launch from your compiled game. An editor option in the main menu. This would be a standalone experience separate from the Unreal Engine interface, potentially using UMG for all of its UI. This seems to align with Make Maps for Us in the game. Let's see, the approach for UI and asset handling will differ based on your answer, assuming you're leaning towards option 2. As a developer tool, here's a general roadmap and where we can start. Okay, and I am leaning towards number 2. I don't want to make edits to the Unreal Engine editor itself. I just want to kind of build a separate editor that I can use to build levels for the map, and then I can potentially, if I want to include that as part of the game or not. We'll see when we get there. All right, so conceptual overview for a runtime in-game map editor. So dedicated editor level, a specific level, L map editor, yep, where your map manager is placed to visualize the map you're editing, yes. Editor game mode and player controller, custom classes, yep, that is what I expected. UMG widgets for the editor's interface. Tool palettes, property inspectors, map grid, yes. Interaction layer, code to translate UI actions into modifications on the UMap data asset and to refresh the map manager's view, absolutely. Asset operations, functions to create new map data assets, load existing ones, and save changes. Where to start? Foundational C++ classes. Let's begin by setting up basic C++ framework for the editor mode. So we need map editor game mode, map editor player controller, map editor HUD, initial setup of the classes. Okay, we'll get into those as we start actually making them. We'll get into more details on what each of those steps is doing. So create our map editor level, set its world settings to our map editor game mode, and add a map manager into it. Create the main UMG editor widget. So that's our our widget blueprint. Widget that map editor HUD instantiates. Okay, open app map editor HUD blueprint if you created one to reparent from C++ class or edit the C++ default directly. Okay, yep. Design the basic UI. New map, load map, save map. Dimension controls. All that, yes. Implementation details to consider. Loading, saving for a runtime editor. Creating and saving new data asset instances requires C++ helper functions. Unreal Engine's asset system is more geared towards editor time modifications. We can use editor-specific functions wrapped in if-with editor for developer builds or look into more advanced solutions for runtime asset creation modification if needed. So this is often complex for cooked builds. Okay, initially you might want to focus on loading an existing map data asset specified by path or selected via simple UI and modifying its properties. Yeah, that was one of the things I wasn't sure with using the map data asset. When I was kind of playing around with this initially using Claude, Claude went to used a JSON format for the maps, which has its pluses and minuses compared to the UData asset. So it's looking like using the UData asset, it's going to be easier for us to just kind of then be working that within the Unreal editor, right? And using the poundif with editor things to, kind of wrap that code, which would make it less possible, or more complicated anyway, to include that with the game. Okay, again, nothing I don't think that we need to be worrying about at this point. If we're just, kind of stuck with the editor at this point, that's fine. One of the things I do like with using the map data asset is the JSON handling and whatnot in the first iteration that I was kind of playing around with. That code got almost a little overly complex, and it was not that it was necessarily complex, but verbose is maybe a better word for it. Reading and writing JSON in Unreal is not the most straightforward for that. And so using this data asset certainly saves us some time and reduction in lines of code and whatnot, which kind of helps on the AI too. Less things that it needs to be reading and keeping a hold of. Okay, so yeah, I think we're good with moving forward on this. So let's get these classes going. And then yeah, and then we'll see how that works from there. Okay, so back to you and you. All right, so what do we want? Map editor game mode, which is off of base game mode. All right, so we got map. Let's create a directory. An editor directory, and let's put our files in there. So map editor game mode. And map editor player controller. Map editor. Okay, and map editor HUD. Map HUD. Okay, we can get rid of you guys down. So we've got our. Oh, did I end up making a directory? Did I end up making a directory? A map editor. Okay. There we go. So game mode, player controller, HUD. All right, game mode H, game mode CP, P, boom, boom, boom. All right. So now our initial setup, map editor, game mode HNCPP. All right, so very basic. Game mode. All right, so we are public a game mode base and just a constructor and nothing too major with that. Okay, so then the CPP is pretty straightforward too. Yep, we're going to be adding that. Goodness. All right, so we got that in there. And then we want our player controller. Player controller. And again, yeah, all of this basic and simple and nothing real major. So just overriding begin play. And in begin play, we're just setting our input to UI mode only, or F input game mode, game and UI. If you need world interaction too. I don't know that we'll need that, so let's just hold on to that and see if we need to edit that later. Okay. Where am I? Map editor HUD. Yeah, you don't have to tell me it's a forward declaration. All right, so this extending HUD actor overriding begin play. And then we've got a property for our widget class and our widget instance. Okay. Which I'm guessing in begin play is where we're actually creating that. And yes, we are. Okay. Create a blueprint widget of a user widget and assign it here. For now, we're just setting it up right. So it's just the constructor, and then we'll set that within that when we override the thing. This creates the instance and adds to viewport and does all that. Perfect. Okay, so do we compile? We do not. The given include must include at the top of the header. Map editor player controller .h. Just gonna slide that over here. Player controller .h. What are you complaining about? The given include. Oh, no, that's right? Yeah. What is... Oh, you just don't want to be on the very top line. Okay. Did I do that on the other ones? I did. You need a new line. Okay. Let's pick that up again. Let's see if we're a little better. Given include must appear at the top of the header. No, what is your... No, don't start Visual Studio. Not find file. Yeah, because you have to generate it. Why are you complaining? The given include must appear at the top of the header file following all other includes. Yeah. Well, you've got to generate them. Following all other includes, which it is. Very weird. I don't know what its problem is. Honestly. It must be, I must be looking at something very stupid. Yeah, that's, what is different? Other than, I mean, I don't have my copyright in there. Copyright yet. Be right here. There's somebody screaming. How obvious whatever my issue is here. Map editor HUD. Oh, because I named it a map. Oh, wrong names. My bad. Dumb. So I stuck the A in the name of the file, which you usually don't do. Um, and actually, yeah, let me just fix the name of the names of the files here, just to be consistent. Shift F6. Yeah, I know. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of off today. So yeah, I knew that. Yep. All right, there we go. Now let's build. Oh, because it changed now. No. Don't change the name of the class. Just the name of the file. That's what it was warning. You're all. Oh, hey, no, come on. File right. That's A. That's A. You're A. You're A. You're A. You're A. You're A. You're A. And A. Okay. Save everything. Now let's build. There we go. All right. That's looking better. And so now if we jump over to here, and let's go ahead and create a new folder here, editor. Let's start putting our editor stuff in here. Let's go ahead and let's make a blueprint for everything just so we have it if we want to extend some of the functionality just within blueprints, not within the C++. So let's go ahead and do a editor game mode. Select, so it's going to be BP map editor game mode. And then we want a map editor player controller. The editor player controller. And then we want a and then we want our HUD. No, yeah. So we want to extend our HUD. So that's map for HUD. Come on, map editor HUD. And then we're going to create a widget blueprint, which is going to be a user widget. It's going to be our widget blueprint for editor UI. Open that. Stay in there. You can close for now. Save. Open up you. And you should have. Oh no, this is the player controller. Okay, so save. You're fine. Map editor HUD. You should have a thing for not. I thought this had a thing where I could set the name of the thing. Yeah, under category widgets, edit defaults only. Category widgets. You can go away. There we go. There it is. I just couldn't see it. All right, and that's going to be our WB editor UI. Okay. Compile that, save that. And then our last thing is our game mode. We save that. Okay. And then let's go ahead and in the editor also, let's go ahead and add a new level. And this will be our editor level. Let's go ahead and start that. Yes, save it. All right, and then in our editor level, in our world settings, we want our game mode to be our map editor game mode. HUD is map editor HUD. Our player controller class will be our BP map editor player controller. Okay, perfect. And then we need to have a map manager in the level. 0, 0, 0. We're probably going to want a directional light to see things. Okay. Just going to pop the directional light a little bit just so it's kind of not in the way of the map manager when we're dealing with things. And just for testing, let's make sure our test level there and generates, and yes, got everything that we would expect to see. Perfect. Okay. All right. So I'm going to try something a little different with the videos, trying to make them a little more concise, maybe a little less time, and coming out more frequently. So I'm going to call this the end of this episode. We've got our basic stuff set up. We've got our files ready to go. And we are ready to kind of start building the UI out of this. So that's what I'm going to do next, but that will be the next video, is where we will start kind of popping that up. So, questions, comments, feedback, criticisms, whatever, you know, drop a comment. If you like the video, click thumbs up. If you don't like the video, click thumbs down. You know, if you want to, you know when, you know, new videos come out in the series, you know, subscribe, hit that notification bell, continuing to kind of put more stuff forward. But next episode, we'll start building the UI out for this and then go from there. All right. Thanks all.